Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year to you. It is Saturday, January the 4th, 2025, and we are at Lake Bistineau State Park, which is located just outside the town of Doyline, Louisiana, and it's about 30 miles east of the Shreveport-Bossier area. Today, we're going to be hiking the trail system that's in this park. Now, there are several trails. There's about 7 miles or so of hiking that we're going to do today. There's actually another trail that I'm going to show you on the map. We're not going to follow that one. It does a lot of winding and it's not really part of the loop that I'm trying to accomplish today. And there's also an equestrian trail. So I'm going to show you the map now and then we're going to get started. All right, so this is a map of the park. It's a little confusing because there's several trails on here. I'll just point out that this one here in red is an equestrian trail, so we're not going to do that. But there's a few others that we're going to do. You can see the Blue Wing Trail, Pintail Loop, Casati Trail, Willis Homestead Trail, and then the Discovery Circle. So I figured it out. We're right here, and what we're basically going to do is follow this road to right here, get on the Pintail Loop, which is this one, and it's going to run into up here near the park boundary, the Willis Homestead Trail. The Willis Homestead is in yellow, and it goes all the way down, does a lot of zigging and zagging, and ends up back near the front entrance. And then we cross near the front entrance, get on the Pintail Loop, and then it's going to lead us back to the parking lot, which is where we are right there. So it looks like we're going to be hiking about 6.5 miles or so for today. This is the parking lot where we parked at. It's towards the back end of the park, coming in from the entrance, as you saw on the map. There's a pavilion, and so we're going to follow this park road a short distance and then get on the trail. We just came from this direction. This is the parking lot for the horse trail. And so now we're going this way. We came from this direction. We just cut across the field. There is a road that follows along. And if you look at the All Trails app, it looks like this is what you follow along, is this road. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna proceed in this direction and get on the trail. Just a short distance down from what I just showed you, I'm gonna zoom in. You can see this is the entrance to the Blue Wing Trail and the equestrian trail. So we're now gonna go in this direction. We've now come to the split where the equestrian trail moves to the right and the Blue Wing Trail goes to the left. You can see the blue marking for Blue Wing. So we're going to follow this. It looks like this is going to last a little over a mile. You can see where I just took that picture, and right there at the fence is the park boundary. We're on the northern edge of the park. So this right here coming in this direction would be the horse trail. So what we're gonna do now is not follow this. You can see straight across, and I'll zoom in real quick. You can see that little yellow blaze. That's the Willis Homestead Trail, and we're going to be on that now for 4 miles. In that last clip, you can see we were coming back in this direction, just alongside the road for a short, I'd say maybe 1/10 of a mile, and you can see the signs again, the Willis Homestead Trail blazed in, I guess more like a lime green than a yellow. Nevertheless, it's bright, so we're going back in the woods in this direction. We've come up to the junction of the Willis Homestead Trail and the Mule Equestrian Trail. Basically what happens is the equestrian trail goes this way and the Willis Homestead Trail goes in this direction. We're about 3 miles into today's hike. You can see where we just took the break. Couldn't help but take advantage of that. I don't know how many picnic tables they have along the trail. And this is where we came from just a short minute ago. And so now we're getting back on the Willis Homestead Trail. This is a short distance down from where we turned right. You can see the equestrian trail continues straight and the Willis Homestead Trail goes to the left. We have about 1.5 miles left of the Willis Homestead Trail section. I just want to point out to you, you can see straight ahead, there is a disc golf course out here. I'm going to try to start mentioning a few other things that you can do here at Lake Bistineau State Park, but I wanted to point that out. And in the meantime, the trail continues straight ahead. Just a short distance from where I just took that last video. You can see straight ahead, there's a sign, there's the road. Across the street, straight ahead is a picnic table. But you want to go ahead and turn left. The Willis Homestead Trail continues in this direction. Just a short distance from the last video I just took, we just came from this direction. You can see there's a little blowdown. The trail goes straight, but you can see that it loops around and it comes right back right here. I think the reason for it is they have one of those plaques down there for one of the trees, just to specify the species. So instead of doing that, we're just going to turn right and follow along this way. All right, this is turning into a comic show. What I showed you earlier when I pointed out that the road was here and there was a picnic table, well, we just came out of the trail from right there. So we just made like a little semi-loop. But here is that picnic table. And we're already finished with the Willis Homestead Trail. And so now we're gonna turn left And this is the Pintail loop, and we're gonna follow this for the next 1.5 miles. We just came in this direction. We're now at the parking lot. My truck is straight ahead down this way. So we're just gonna go around and then back over. I think this is all part of Lake Bistineau down that way. And it's still kind of dry. They always have to drain it out in between the months of July and November. And so it probably just takes some time for the water to come back up. But anyhow, we're gonna get back to the truck and I'll give you my thoughts on today's hike. Back at the truck now and fixing to head home. It was probably closer to 5 miles that we walked. When you add up the entire Pintail loop, it would give you 1.6, but if you veer off where we did at the parking lot, then it shortened the walk. But all in all, I mean, it was nice. The trails are pretty well maintained. There wasn't that much blowdown. There was one that was very clear and it was clearly rerouted around the tree. But outside of that, trails in great condition. It was a little confusing, obviously, as I showed in a couple of spots. But if you follow the map, and then I would also suggest you also open up the All Trails app. Neither one of them are perfect. But if you use both of them, you should be able to get around pretty easily. And so I would suggest you come up here. There's a lot of other things to do at Lake Bistineau State Park. They have kayaking, canoeing, of course, camping and whatnot. So even if you don't live in the northern part of the state, it's great to come up here for a weekend and you'd have time to hike either in the afternoon or the next morning before you head home. That concludes today's hike of Lake Bistineau State Park, and I will see you again soon on another Louisiana trail.